Hello YouTubers, welcome to GTA5. This is the Out of Harmony mission. I'm playing this on hard and solo. So this is a mission that I don't really or haven't really played until now. Just because I basically thought it was much more difficult to do than it's worth the while, right? But anyway, it's actually a fairly fun mission, but it's actually a fairly difficult mission as well. So for those that want the challenge, as well as this week, it's got double HP, so definitely worthwhile checking out if you're trying to up your levels, right? So here we go. The first thing we want to do, the trick here, I actually played with a friend, and the friend actually showed me the trick here. The trick here is actually to take out about half of them before you actually set up them at the timer, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up just in front of the place. I found this is a better place. I'll visit the area where my friend visited and started sniping them, but I couldn't actually see anything from there. But I like this place because you can see them and you can snipe them, and then they start running out at you. So you have about 10 of them that actually run out and try and shoot you. Now they are pretty lethal, so make sure you've got heavy armor and make sure you got lots of snacks and lots of armor before you attempt this mission, because you are going to need it, not just for this part but later on as well, right? So they do come out, and they do have some fairly heavy weapons, right? Being the last. In fact, I think they're worse than the Merryweatherman, right? So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sniping. I typically hit the guy behind the van because they're the harder ones, and they like to hide once you start shooting at them. But then once you shoot that first guy, you want to hide fairly quickly because they come out fairly quickly and they start shooting you. And you'll watch my health, even though I'm wearing tactical clothes. You'll watch my health go down really quickly with actually not doing much here, right? So just make sure you shoot them. There's a guy trying to flank me just behind me on the left there. Just watch out that the flank can get behind you and shoot you. Just make sure your health is good. Like I said, make sure you before you attempt this mission, have lots of snacks, right? So we're going to take about 10 of these guys out, and then I'm going to show you, I'm going to drive up to the hill and see if I can see anybody from the top there, and then we're going to go take the truck, right? So this guy behind the rock there we go. As you can see, I almost died there. Just trying to shoot one guy there. I don't think these tactical loads do any good anyway, but perhaps they do it. Okay, so now that we've got all the guys, I'm gonna just do a quick snipe view. I'm gonna just jump on my car. There are a couple guys that still hide behind the vans and stuff, so I'm gonna just see if I can get them to come out, or if I do see them, I'll just shoot them. So just take your sniper rifle and just this is why I like this position, because you can kind of see, you can get high up. Okay, there's one guy coming out. Come out. And then we're going to take a look. So there are a few that typically hide behind the vans and the walls. Just sort of kind of scan the area and look for movement there. There's movement right there. See, he's just jumped out there. Just hiding behind the box there. So if you actually shoot there, you might have to wait a little bit. You keep shooting, eventually they'll pop up or stand up again, and then you can take them out. There you go, as he stands up. So normally there's a guy behind this van here at the back. So it's a little difficult to entice him to come out, but sometimes he does stick his head around every now and then. If we haven't got him, you see he's right there. I can see his mark on the mini-map. There's actually Sin there, just behind the van, but he's got to kind of stick his head out if I can shoot him. So if you're patient enough, you can take him out. As you notice, the timer hasn't kicked off, so you got lots of time. And of course, if you hit the 15-minute mark, the more money you make. So I wouldn't worry too much about it if you're patient enough and just wait for 15 minutes and try and snipe these guys. And then you'll get more money at the end of it anyway. And just shoot around. I mean, you'll find that in different ones, if you shoot different things, they might entice them to actually come out. So obviously, the more you can kill before you go in instead of the marker, the easier it's going to be for you to actually steal the truck. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just drive up on the hill. I normally don't drive this way. I normally go the left way around the building. If you keep a fairly wide berth around the factory, then the marker doesn't go off. If you get too close, then the marker will go off. As soon as the marker goes off, you want to try and steal the truck as quick as possible. You've only got sort of just over 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, then the marker. After 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, then obviously less time you have to do anything here, right? So you can see that the marker's still there. I was just up the wrong mountain there, so I'm just gonna head up here quick. Of course, it's gonna do that. So you can actually start off here. You might be able to snipe see them better from this area. I'm not sure they'll actually come out and want to run out, but maybe they will. You can just snipe them. I couldn't see anybody left over that I hadn't shot. So anyway, just a sort of another area I wanted to show you where you could actually try and snipe them from. But I recommend you just go to the front and then take care of them. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to head around the back, and then we're going to take the truck. There's only a few left over, so we don't have to worry too much about them. And then we will steal the truck, head to the final location, which is actually the most difficult versus us. This isn't actually difficult at all, but the next one's quite more difficult to do than this piece here. This is actually easy piece. So there's actually kind of two pieces. The first piece is obviously to steal the truck, and then the second piece is to actually protect the truck. So we're just right in here. There's normally a couple of guys here. There's about 4 down the bottom. You don't have to worry too much. They don't really shoot you too badly. Just make sure your health is good before you get into the truck, because they do sometimes show up, and they might want to actually shoot you if that happens, right? So just go slowly at this point. Now we're going to jump in the truck, and I'm going to show you the best pass, I think, to take the truck versus on the road. So you quickly just want to reverse. Generally they won't shoot you too much at this point. You already noticed they're on their bikes that come behind you. So what we're going to do is we're just going to head straight and just pass this oil crane in front of us to the left. There's kind of 2 roads, and then we're gonna take the left road. So as you can see, that don't turn right here, just keep on going straight, and then we're going to go forward. Don't drive over any bikes because they will explode the truck. Just avoid them. Just go to the right here. If you do try and hit them out the way, sometimes they'll bounce out the way, but most times they'll go into the truck and blow up the truck, and it'll just waste your time. So if you look at your mini map, you'll notice the airport's coming up to our right here. What we're going to do is we're going to just go slightly alongside the airport, and then we're going to jump on the actual airport and go straight, and then we're going to take a left up ahead, where you generally turn left from the hangar, right? So from there's 2 paths that you can take. You can follow the yellow route that they recommend, and that's the one I recommend they do. And then you can actually take the one on, or you can go straight and cross the highway. The one on the highway is a little bit more risky, because if you get hit by a semi as you cross, a big truck, then it may derail you, which might be a pain. But both ways are fine to take. Today we're going to actually go across the highway. If you do take the one on follow the yellow route, there is a turn just by the bridge that you don't want to miss, because if you miss it and you try and back up, you'll probably you'll derail the truck. So if you happen to miss it, just keep on going, and hopefully you'll make it, right? But yeah, try and not miss any turns if you do follow the yellow route. But we're just gonna go ahead straight, yeah. And I'm gonna show you as we cross the highway. But both look easy. Both have just as many turns. So one's not really easier than the other one. But the one across the highway is a little bit more risky because of being hit by another truck. And then once we get there, I will talk a little bit more. These guys will chase you all the way there, and then they'll stop just as you get closer to destination. They'll actually just leave you alone, and then you'll be able to park the truck. And I'll talk a little bit there. Okay, yeah, we come close to the destination. Just be careful as you cross this bridge and go around these corners, because you can, again, derail the truck. Just go slowly on the corners. You'll notice they're still right behind us, but they are going to disappear right now at this bend. Sometimes they'll follow you a little bit further down, but most times, as you can see, they've just actually disappeared here, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to just park slightly to the left of the marker, and that way we'll have a good view of being able to attack them. You'll notice that I went a bit too left here, but just kind of reverse back up a little bit, and then you'll be able to get the marker set off. And there you go. It should do it in a second. Yeah, there you go. So what you have to do now is actually protect the buyer, and this is probably the most difficult part, because sometimes the buyer gets killed, and that's just a pain, because that'll end the session. And if you get killed, what happens is it actually spawns you on top of the mountain, and then it ends it because the buyer gets killed. So your one life isn't really one life here, right? So what I'm doing is just to help me out here a little bit. You don't have to put proximity mines, but I'm doing it just here just to give me a little bit of help, because they do come in quite a large swarm. If you're playing by yourself, you might help. Don't place them too close to the truck or behind the truck or by the buyer, because obviously we don't want to kill the buyer or anything like that. So, and you don't want to destroy the truck. So I'm very careful where I place them, just kind of up on the hill, way away from the truck, because otherwise, you will lose the truck. So as you come, as you notice, they're now coming, and what I do is I'll jump into the boat here. I've tried a few different spots. I've tried the boxes by the buyer, and I got killed. So what I found is this is probably the better place for me to actually defend the area. So just keep an eye on your health. Make sure your health is good, because when they shoot you, they do shoot you, and your health diminishes very quickly. The gun I'm using is a MG, the combat MG. I found that from a distance point of view, it's better. But any gun will generally work. Generally, I use the bullet rifle, but I find this one to be, the better one to use for guys that you try and shoot a long distance. Now, do keep an eye on the buyer, because sometimes one of these guys sneak up behind the buyer and kill them. So keep an eye to make sure that these guys don't get too close to the buyer, because as I mentioned, he will die. So as long as they don't get too close for too long, then you're fine. So yeah, and you just take them out.
Gracias.